Vasyl Lomachenko says he's ready to fight Guillermo Rigondeaux next. And this your boy CJ Goodfellow. We talking that boxing-ish. That's under the boxing clinic. And Lomachenko says, he said he's ready to fight Rigondeaux next. He said in the past he told his management team to make the fight happen. You know, after he got into a little beef earlier on with Rigondeaux, not the current beef they were sharing on social media. And he said, man, make this fight happen, man. I want to fight this guy. And that's the Lomachenko that I thought was the throwback fighter that would fight anybody shooting out the gates in the professional ranks. Now Bob Arum says that he, this time when Rigondeaux said he'd fight, Lomachenko at 130, he said he never received a contract from Roc Nation or offer from Team Rigondeaux. Now, he said, in the past, they tried to make this fight happen, but Rigondeaux priced himself out. And I remember watching interviews with Rigondeaux and his team I believe they said that wasn't true. I remember the hang-up being about the weight, and he was asked for rehydration clause. So I guess the money was the true hang-up according to Bob Arum, but he's one of the biggest liars in the sport of boxing. He'd tell you that himself. And, trying to make the fight then, back then was more, it was less riskier for Bob Arum because both of them guys was under his banner. But the problem with Rigondeaux was he didn't know how to promote Rigondeaux. They were shitting on Rigondeaux because Rigondeaux, he's boring, he's this, he's that. And they were really mad at Rigondeaux for the simple fact that they beat their potential quote unquote next Manny Pacquiao cash cow with no neither nor near. And once he did that, they start really treating him like shit and said, he could have moved his hands more in the fight. He should have did this. He should have did that. And Bob Arum didn't do that to Lomachenko. He didn't, criticize him on national TV when he lost to Orlando Salido. He didn't do that. But at the end of the day, they had something against Rigondeaux. They didn't want. The reason Bob Arum and Top Rank didn't want that fight. I'm not saying that Lomachenko didn't want the fight. The reason that Top Rank didn't want to fight Bob Arum is the simple fact that they didn't want to lose another potential cash cow of Vasyl Lomachenko to Rigondeaux, to a guy that they feel is impossible to market and impossible to put him on network TV and for him to thrive. And you can say that with his style, it's true. But at the end of the day, if he fights some top-end competition like he did with Nonito, that was a good fight. If he can get the Lomachenkos, the Santa Cruzes, the Framptons in the ring, I think it'll make some great cracking fights for him. And I think he'd be painting it in a different light in the fans. But Lomachenko said he's ready. He said a long time he asked his manager to make this fight happen. And it's a fight that, quite frankly, that this is one of the fights that I wouldn't mind paying to see. Two high caliber, two all-time great amateur fighters is making some noise in the professional ranks. I want to see it. I know it's a stretch for Rigondeaux coming up to 130, and it kind of could water down the product there. But if he said he can make it, there ain't no excuses. I want to hear shit from him after the fight. I was too small. At the end of that, save the excuses. Excuses are for losers. But Lomachenko has been putting his foot in his mouth. And hopefully this time he's dead ass serious because Rigondeaux said he had a phone conversation with Lomachenko and he felt very confident coming away from that phone conversation that Lomachenko would step up and fight him. And I didn't think Lomachenko was a hoe or anything like that or a ducker. He seemed like he wanted to fight everybody. I think his management team and Bob Arum is getting in the way of letting him, just be great and go do what he got to do. When money gets involved, shit gets funny. But he's a good fighter. Both of these guys are top fighters. And Lomachenko, if this fight doesn't come through and Rigondeaux puts it on Lomachenko and Top Rank and Bob Arum or Lomachenko's management team for if this fight doesn't come through next time when they're supposed to fight, after Lomachenko beats Miguel Moraga or fights Miguel Moraga, then he's going to look bad in the fans that don't like him and don't understand why he's ranked so high off of 9 fights, that seems not to see the tape and the talent and the caliber of fighters he's beaten, only 8-9 fights. So it's definitely some pressure on Lomachenko to make this fight happen. Now Rigondeaux ain't had nothing to lose, man. He, guys won't fight him at 126. 122 they wouldn't fight him. So what does he have to lose? To make a statement on Lomachenko and show that he's better than Lomachenko. He has nothing, zero to lose. So for him, it's a win-win situation. For Lomachenko, he has a lot to lose. His reputation, I would guess, being a big draw, I guess, or a potential big draw on ESPN. But it's a good fight. And hopefully they let the kid, they let these two guys fight. Let the kid Lomachenko prove himself. I know a lot of people think that he's gonna win. I'm in the majority with that, thinking he's the bigger fighter. He should win, but we gone.